Hey guys, today I'll be talking about Tibet. This first bit of information is from friendsoftibet.org. The red area that you see here is Tibet, and the yellow area is the area controlled by China. The main religion in Tibet is Tibetan Buddhism. It isn't the only religion in Tibet, but it is the main religion in the area that's being threatened. And the main difference between Tibetan Buddhism and other Buddhism is the Dalai Lama. They derive their peaceful political and spiritual ideologies from the Dalai Lama. His people look up to him for guidance. There wasn't much online about animosity between religions in Tibet specifically, so I'll be talking about China's actions against the religions in Tibet. This next bit is pulled directly from the Congressional Executive Commissions of China. China has claimed that Tibet has always been a part of China, but anyone who studies history knows that no one has had control of any land or border forever. Borders and power are always shifting, but Tibet's been in a nice little pocket of terrain that's made it hard to interact with until China came in around the 50s. After a failed resistance, the Dalai Lama was forced to flee to India, which has given him asylum for over 60 years now. China has used this against them, claiming him fleeing is giving up the rights to Tibet. It's displayed all throughout the Congressional Executive Commission on China and very apparent in a BBC journalism documentary that I'll reference in a minute, that China is very much militant atheism and has a large distrust of religion. China clearly sees religion as a form of extremism and a threat to the power and control of the Chinese government over any people or land. China has specific laws and regulations against expressing religion. China sees religion has the capability to unify people and strengthen groups to oppose the Chinese government and their control. China sees this opportunity for the resources in this area and tries to weaken the Tibetan connections with their spiritual leader and his teachings. They don't allow public displays of religion or prayer or paraphernalia of any sort, and purposely hang Chinese propaganda and continue to harass those who want to express their form of religion. This next part is a sad reality, this situation that's even happening right now, and you can go to bbc.com and watch the 12-minute documentary yourself. Under the guise of liberation from religious extremism and offering education, the Chinese government has sent in troops to take control of this area and poured in money into infrastructure, agriculture, and military presence, which is flooding in money and jobs in the area, which looks good in theory as literacy increases and the economics of the area shift, but slowly we see the realization of China's goals for the area. We begin to see harassment and human rights violations everywhere. In the documentary, you'll see several people interviewed and the lengths that the Chinese government will go to prevent you from seeing any negativity from their side. China has created and continues to create numerous re-education camps, and they're exactly what they sound like, sadly. One man was asked if he was here willingly. He stated, "I had a weak understanding of the law. I was influenced by extremism and terrorism. A policeman in my village told me to enroll in school and transform my thoughts." And out of all the education camps that I was able to view, this one actually seemed like it was the best of them all, so I can't imagine what the rest were like. They're forced to learn Chinese, read Chinese, and sing in Chinese, and are not allowed to leave, visit their families, or have any other real freedoms, especially any form of worship. The Chinese Commission report specifically states that there are only religious practices allowed in private, specific, designated areas, and only if they're approved by the government, and they have to be registered, approved by the state, and they're basically China's state versions of those religions. And above all else, China is your ultimate authority. And I'm not going to show a picture of it, but there have been hundreds of people, normal people, monks, nuns, who have set themselves ablaze and willingly burned to death to try to free Tibet. Peaceful protesters have been met with violence, threat of incarceration, and even threatened with death. China has even paid other countries where people are seeking asylum to crack down upon them. According to BBC.com UK, China has plans to replace the Dalai Lama with one of their own after he passes away. In response to this, the Dalai Lama has said that he will only reincarnate in a free country, or maybe even not at all. He said that I may be the last. He's directly quoted saying to not trust anything China says after he dies. According to nhpr.org, a former advisor to India's government was quoted saying, China wants to pacify Tibet by controlling the economy, also the clergy and the monastic orders. On friendsoftibet.org, a journalist states that the Chinese occupation of Tibet has entirely changed the life and the lifestyle of Tibetans for the worse. He continues to state that during the invasion, the Chinese army imprisoned hundreds of Tibetans for their political and religious activities, and monks and nuns were tortured and killed for dreaming of an independent Tibet and aligning with His Holiness the Dalai Lama. Even the Dalai Lama's photographs are banned. The International Religious Freedom Report of 2010 states that the Chinese government claims that Chinese citizens can enjoy freedom of religious belief, but continues to only protect state-sanctioned quote-unquote patriotic religious associations. Chinese Communist Party members are discouraged from participating in pretty much any religious activities whatsoever, and the government only permits proselytizing in these registered places of worship or in private settings. Worship by foreigners is not permitted, and some religious or spiritual groups are completely outlawed. Any of these actions are seen as illegal religious activities or disrupting social stability.